We are live. It is 3:03 Central Standard Time, 4:03 Eastern Standard Time, 9:03 GMT in the UK. This is the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe.
Hey.
Coming to you live this 7th day of December 2025. And if you're in the United States, that day should mean something to you. Today is D-Day. For those who are not paying attention or not historically inclined, let's see, a long time ago, right? 1941. Yeah, so that was a bad day for a lot of folks. And so that's what's going on. So if you noticed, if anybody's been driving around in the United States and seeing flags at half staff, that's why it is. Anyway, so anywho, the reason why I gave Eastern Standard Time, if you are watching this stream, congratulations, you understood the assignment. And if you're not, you can catch it later, or you can listen to it live now. Watch it live, recorded later on YouTube, or you can download the podcast audio. That's fine too. We have Jason, Tuna Techs in the chat. Apparently, they are taking a hiatus on the Tech Disruptors. I think they're off till the 29th, I believe.
That is correct.
Yeah, take a little time off, which is nice. They well deserve it. They are hardworking folks there over at the Tech Disruptors. And so they will be back for their end of year extravaganza, extraordinaire, talk about all the things that they're going to, all the tech they like for the 2025s and all that year in review kind of stuff. So until then, we just
not to be missed.
Not to be missed. Check that out. We will be not sure about attendance. We're probably not going to be there, but we will be listening and contributing and commenting and doing all that stuff. So, and we got Jason here. So thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. I know it's kind of short notice, so I appreciate you dropping on in. You're always welcome, and you and Darren are always welcome here on the Nomad Tech Project. So thanks for showing up.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Yeah, I'm wearing the jumper. I have to stand up because you can't. I don't know if you're not paying attention. If you can kind of see, if you anybody who's in that space, so I'll just go ahead and stand up. I got this for
my div.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh,
yeah.
See, that's check out the slang div.
Yeah, div. No, that's all the errors you get when you're trying to format cells, which is what happens to me practically all the time I use Excel. I like Excel, but but the problem is I'm not very good at it. I just thought it was kind of a cool shirt.
Does anybody use Google Sheets?
Not where I work. No, we all have to use Microsoft stuff.
Have you used it before?
Yeah,
I mean, it seems pretty much the same.
I mean, it is. It's still just, I'm sure if you don't format it and do all your, concatenations and all that kind of stuff correctly, it'll just blow up and throw you a bunch of nulls and divide by 0. You can't do that and all that kind of stuff, all these errors, which I see more of these than any of the other kind of errors I use. So apparently my Excel skills are kind of trash.
Yeah,
but
too, mate, so you're not on your own.
Yeah, it's got a little keyboard, like on the sleeves, little coffee cup mug, little coffee. Yeah, that kind of thing. So I don't know. My wife thought
on your dating profile, good with Excel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
right, good with Excel.
Works. Yeah,
all about access. Yeah, and all that kind of stuff.
Long walks on the beach. Working the worksheets.
Yeah. PowerPoint's my jam.
Jason, what's your X handle? I can't find you.
My X handle's at Eat Tuna.
Oh, 24/7. That's it. I remember now.
Yeah, I know it's weird.
Yeah, we had touched on that before in the last time you were on the show.
Still not finding you though. What the hell?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, there you go.
Because technically my last name sounds, when you say the whole thing out, it sounds like you're saying tuna at the end. So,
right.
Yeah.
Let's test
that. Nickname.
Let's test that. What's your surname?
Yanin Tuno.
Nah.
Italian.
Yeah.
Ah, 2 Italians with me today.
Absolutely. They got the one in the middle. He's the guest, so he gets to be seen.
I never knew the Italian side of you. I love learning new things about people.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
Really cool.
Yeah. So we'll get it out of the way. Sorry to Ohio State last night. It was actually a good game, but that's okay. They're going to make the playoff anyway, so who cares? It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, they dropped. They're third, I think, instead of second or first, whatever they were before. But
so that's okay. And Indiana wins the first Big Ten, so that was let's get the sport thing out of the way. And then, of course, the Bears are playing right now. They're playing the Packers, so I'm not going to watch that.
And the Browns were winning last time I checked, and they haven't won anything this year.
Right.
They're playing the other worst team in the NFL.
Oh, the Jets or the Giants?
The Tennessee Titans. I think they're like
Oh,
1-6.
Titans. Oh, yeah, Titans. God.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then another thing today, Lando Norris won the F1 championship. That's kind of cool. I think it's his first one. That's kind of cool. My daughter, for some reason, is like huge in F1. I don't know how that got started because she didn't get it from me. I don't know. She just started liking it, and so that was kind of cool. Congratulations to Lando. He got his first championship, so that's kind of nice. Good deal. And so yeah, a lot of stuff going on in F1 and that sports. And so we're going to talk right into the techie stuff. So Jason had an issue with a phone he recently had, and he was kind of sharing with us. So what exactly happened with this Realme? What happened with this phone?
I don't really know. So the Realme GT8 Pro, which is just like the Oppo, just like what's the other one? Oppo, iQOO, they're all the same. But I bought it for the Rico, the processing, and I had it for like 22 hours where it worked. And the cameras were actually, I was pretty impressed. They weren't, you know how when you have a Google phone, you take a picture and it kind of takes a second and then it processes and it kind of clicks in. Mm-hmm. This one would do that, but it would like blur into it. It was really cool. So anyways, I have T-Mobile and I was only getting 4G plus. In some areas I got 5G, probably because of the bands. Went to work, was playing around a little bit, took a break, hit the power button, came back, and no service. I tried everything, AT&T SIM, different T-Mobile SIM, thinking, because I've had issues with the past with Google Fi where the SIM would just stop working and had to get it replaced. And they ended up, Google Fi actually gave out refunds because they had a bad manufacturer making bad SIMs. But anyways, this was T-Mobile. It worked fine for about 24 hours and it just stopped. When you went to, it wasn't an APN setting because it automatically found my APN settings. But I went to search for carrier, it would just, like, nothing. I don't know. It was really, it just wouldn't find anything. And I showed a video to Darren, the counterpart there on Tech Disruptors, and and I'd never had this issue before, but he said it looks like the phone might be blacklisted. Like, you know, if you put a wrong, usually if it's locked or, locked, it won't even take a T-Mobile SIM. So looking it up, it sounds like Realme may have this. I mean, you search for anything, you're going to find people that have the same problem, but there's a lot of people talking about this, not just with the GT8 Pro, with a lot of Realme devices where they had to get it turned back in to get it, warranty work.
So
where I live, I'm out. Yeah.
Is this all SIM or is this you trying eSIM on any of these, or I don't know? I guess eSIM kind of thing. I don't know how you can.
It does have eSIM in it, but I don't know how that would work with T-Mobile. And eSIM isn't as easy as just taking the card out. That's one thing I didn't try was eSIM. It's got dual SIM and eSIM.
To be honest, in theory, it won't make a difference because it's just the SIM tech itself rather than the network connection. So I don't think it will make a difference.
I don't. Right. Do you think it was a US issue because it was working fine for a while? It even saw T-Mobile.
It's weird. That's what's weird about it. That it worked for a little while. It's like it pinged on the servers, and then your network was like, "Wait a minute."
And that's what used to happen when I had my issue with the Pixel, right? So what happened was they would take it off the blacklist, but somebody else had it blacklisted. It was the trade-in company or whatever that handles, I guess, when you trade in a device. So they had it blacklisted because of some stupid snafu. Anyway, so they would do it, and then the next day when the server would cycle back over, it would relock out again. It was like next day would be like it'd work, and then all of a sudden, I guess it would catch up. They would upload that IMEI to the server, and it would just kind of croak on me.
Well, I called T-Mobile and they didn't know what kind of phone it was. It showed up in my account as a Samsung or something, BYOB but right. I have the Vivo Chinese. I have both SIMs in this on T-Mobile and it's working just fine. So T-Mobile said they didn't block it. It was so I don't know.
Yeah, they would say that.
They would. I actually went to the physical store, which I haven't done in years. But they were just like, "What the hell is that you have in your hand?"
They ain't got a clue.
Right. And well, the funny thing is Gigi had lent me the Find N2, I think is what I had, and I could not get. It was the same thing. I got it I was at my parents' house, and they were in St. Louis County, and it seemed like it would work okay, and then it would kind of die. And it was about 24 hours, right? And then the next day, I would get up and I'd be out running around, or I got home. It would work for a few hours, and all of a sudden, it would just say no service. It was just like it just basically got.
But I wonder what it would be though, because the Vivo works fine. And when I did have the Realme working, it had VoLTE, Wi-Fi calling. Everything was. The only thing it didn't have is when you go to your SIM settings, you can check preferred 4G, 3G. It did not give me the option for 5G, which I don't care because technically in my area, I'm in rural Ohio. Like the 4G plus and the 5G are almost, except for T-Mobile, most of the time the speeds are very similar. That was the only issue I really had.
Yeah, I can live without 5G at the moment. In the UK, it's not that great.
Yeah,
Well,
and if you have AT&T, you get 5GE, so you get that whatever.
Which is 4G plus is what I've heard. Yeah,
right. LTE plus. It's like whatever, but you get 5G. But I remember when AT&T would have it, it'd be like the 5G logo, like it'd be all like fancy, font. Then you have a little E. Like I still have suck. Yeah,
I will tell you this: the phone was purchased from. I don't want to give anybody's name out, but the person was awesome. Gave me my full money back.
Nice.
And the phone's packed up and ready to go back. I told the guy, I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to resell this. And this was just my issue. I put multiple different SIM cards in there. I put a Cricket SIM in there from someone else. Nothing. It wouldn't even, like when you go to search cell network, it should show you all the networks in the area. Like it worked one time. It showed Verizon, T-Mobile. And then after that, it never showed me any options when I searched. It was really weird. Well, I don't know.
I don't know if it's the person told you, but did they indicate why they were offloading the phone for any reason?
I'm assuming it was a review unit supplied from Realme. Yeah.
I contacted one of those. Okay, gotcha.
I contacted Realme, and they're not going to respond to me because I'm a nobody. I told the guy. And they don't.
You're on the Nomad Tech project, for God's sake. You must be somebody.
This is where all the cool kids hang out. Waveform. Who's heard of that? Nobody's heard of that. This is the one you need to be on. Seriously.
Well, I told him, since you have connections there, you may want to reach out. Like Darren's done this with OnePlus. He's had issues, and they've made a new one because they want to make sure the reviewers have good working devices.
Yeah. Right. They want to make sure it is all broken and busticated. It doesn't work.
And the phone was immaculate. Like it was never dropped. It looked like it was in great shape. And it was such a exciting phone. It's 72, big battery, nice cameras. The software was good. I just didn't get a chance to experience it, I guess. So
yeah.
Oh man.
In the chat. Yeah. Jimmy's always already talking, but he's also busting our chops about no water for me and Jason. Or anyways,
none of us.
I know we're bad about the hydration. Yeah, I know. He's breaking.
I usually drink a gallon of water a day.
He's busting our chops about it, so it's cool. Yeah. But I understand. Renzo he had to get it in for repair. Got it back when nothing had been done on it. I guess that's how they do with some stuff, right? You send things off for repair. The only time I've ever had to send a phone off for repair, it was when I had a OnePlus 6. And I had given it to my daughter, and she dropped it and kind of cracked the screen. She had a case on it, but I guess it just fell in a certain way and it kind of cracked the screen. So I sent it back to OnePlus, and I had to pay to replace it. I think it was like $150. They got it. They received it and got it back to me within like 36 hours. It was like, I don't know if overnight. Yeah, it was incredible. I swear to God,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. That's the only time I've ever sent a phone off for any kind of repair work or whatever. I luckily for me, knock on wood, that I've actually had, and when I've cracked the screen, I cracked the screen on the, finally I dropped I had the Moto G stylus in the 24, and I dropped it. Of course, it's a plastic frame, so I dropped it and it cracked the side. But I was like, look, I only paid like $190 for it. I kind of just was like, who cares?
Yeah, why send it in at that point?
Yeah, I wouldn't send it in. I would just either buy another one because you could probably go on Swapper or whatever resale site and probably get a brand new one for $180.
Yeah.
And then the other phone I've had a crack back, like on my Duo, is actually my original Duo. The back is totally cracked from all the way from like corner to corner. I guess I just dropped it.
That's a standard of a Duo, though, right?
Right. It's not only is it cracked, but then of course the port, because it's so thin, that port's broken because it's just the way it is. So I don't think I have I don't know. Do I have the broken port?
Well, see, you had Motorola, and he was talking about Google. So like in the US, Samsung, Google, Motorola, you're going to get easier support than buying a Realme, importing it from the wherever.
Oh, yeah.
India, I think is where they're mainly sold. And then having it shipped here. I had no choice. I can't send it to Realme to get it fixed without paying lots of money to have it shipped.
And what are they? That's what they always say, right? That's the kind of rub about importing and gray marketing these phones, that basically if you're buying it in a market that is not sold, there's no support, you're basically kind of stuck like Chuck, right? You have to either eat it or just have to deal with it. So,
or hopefully you have a good company you're getting your imported phones from, because I will not import a folding phone for that reason. It's just too much issues.
That makes sense.
Or something.
Yeah. Speaking of folding phones, I guess we all now see the official trifold. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's cool. I don't know, man.
Well, did you hear Xiaomi? There's some information that they just got some patents going for their trifold as well.
I think that's the next level up, right? Is the trifold.
Here's my
pretty certain Huawei as well.
The Huawei trifold to me seems more usable than the Samsung. Samsung has small and then 10 inches, where Huawei goes from the regular slab to a fold to a tablet. Like you have 3 options.
Right. What I like about Samsung's implementation of it though is the screen isn't on the outside. Like on Huawei's is.
That's true.
So there's compromise there, isn't there? So that's what I like. What Samsung's done. But
Samsung's playing it safe. Yeah, but they're playing it safe. Then to keep
there is that.
Yeah.
Well, I just think, it's kind of cool. The only thing is, I thought it was interesting because I saw this demo. So the person was, opening it, and then you open it again to the left. Apparently, if you try to close it the wrong way, it throws an error. It says, like the screen, it says, whoa, nope, it doesn't go. And I'm thinking, I don't know about that, because what if you're not exactly, if you're in a hurry, right? You're not paying attention. You're so used to, muscle memory. And I have a bad feeling. I'm telling you right now, folks, I'm going to put, if there was a betting pool, like a Las Vegas line, I'm going to put it on there. I bet somebody's going to have that one within the first day or two, and they're going to fold it the backward way or whatever, wrong way, and they're going to break it. And then they're going to flip out. I just noticed it was funny because when they try to do it, they try to go the opposite way. An error, like the screen basically went like yellow, orange, and said, no, you cannot do it this way. Don't fold it this way. Fold it back, from, I guess, left to right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks cool. I don't think I'm going to pick it up. Price is
going to be way too much.
Oh yeah.
And I carrier deals, of course, but yeah.
Is it going to go globally though? Anyway,
it's going US. Yeah. I think it's in Korea, or is it? I think Korea this month. I think next week it goes live in Japan, or Korea. I mean, and then here early next year in the US.
So it is going to be in the US. I wonder if it's
global is a kind of a weird term, because like everyone has a different definition of global. Like that Realme was a global phone, but it's mainly an India global phone, and
Europe. You can get it in
Europe.
Europe.
Like the Pixel isn't sold in every region, but it's global. Yeah.
It won't be in the
that's
UK.
what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't think it was coming to the UK. That's why I was.
Samsung
intrigued.
doesn't care about the UK.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, I just don't. Well, here's the thing. I don't feel very bad about that. Right. Well, also I don't feel bad about that, considering they get Honor and Vivo and Oppo and all these other phones. Like, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll trade you the availability. I'll tell you what. If Honor allowed their phones in the United States, you can have the trifold.
Oh,
Samsung.
for sure, 100%.
I'll do a player for player trade for that.
I'd love you guys to have Honor, because they're my favorite brand.
Like I said, it's just one of those things where I'll trade you every day of the week and twice on Sunday if you can do that, right? So I'm all good. Yeah, if we can do that, I'm all in. But
I would take Oppo, Vivo, all those companies here than having a trifold. I really would.
So I mean, I think you're not really missing out, considering the fact that I don't think there's probably a lot of people who really. And I guess this is my question I guess I'll pose it to Jason first. Like, is anybody really asking for a fold like this, like a device like this? Yeah, I mean, it'll give you essentially like a wider tablet. But I mean, is it a solution chasing a problem or what? It's like, I just don't know who this really. It's already a niche market. Who's the target for this? I don't know.
Well, I will say the fold devices are the ones I like. I don't like flipping phones just because. I don't know. You always have to open them to basically use them. But the folding phones, while more usable, the inside screen was a square. So watching media was kind of a pain in the butt, which I'm assuming most people are doing on it. I think the trifold is what you said. It's a solution for a problem that's not really there yet. But I also see Apple's rumors of a fold. Samsung's like, we need to get this out. Because they want to be ahead of the game. It's because once Apple makes a folding device, whether it's a flip or a fold, which I believe it's a fold, which surprisingly is kind of surprising to me. I think that's part of the reason why they're pushing this so quick, but I don't know. It's a cool concept. I mean, if you're out and about and you have a phone and you're talking to somebody and, hey, I'm going to go play a game, instead of playing it on a small, bar phone, you can fold it open, and Snapdragon 8 Gen Elite, still a pretty good processor. it'd be able to handle anything. So
Jason's going to be that guy, right? He's going to have it open up big. And he's going to take a call.
Remember, it's Snapdragon Elite 4 Galaxy. Remember,
4 Galaxy.
Yep. Yeah. Well, everyone's like, why doesn't it have the 5? Okay, this has been in R&D for a while. It takes a lot of work to change out a chip in production.
And take that cost down just a little bit, maybe.
Of course. Well, yeah, but they're going to charge. I know Darren said in Canada it's like Vision Pro money, but over there Vision Pro is probably like in Canada it's probably $10,000. But I don't know what it is here. I'm gonna guess around $3,000 or more, probably.
Yeah, it's going to be around that mark, isn't it?
I'd say.
I would say
20
a tablet and a phone together. So
here's the question: is it worth it, or just buy a decent phone and a tablet separate?
Yeah.
Well, and that always comes down to that argument. Whereas you do that, then you have to carry 2 devices. See, that's what they're always going to say is the whole point of this is that way you don't have to. Yeah, is it more cost effective to buy a foldable phone and then a tablet? Sure. Chances are probably a lot of times they'll actually have a deal where if you buy a phone, you get a tablet for free or very little, right? It's the one thing of you don't have to carry multiple devices, then you'll have all the postures, right? And so I guess I get that. And really what you're paying for really is not the actual probably cost. What you're paying for is the hype, right? It's the same thing. Why, I just think it's funny when the Duo came out and the Duo 2, they were still at $1,499. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, you're right, 100%.
But there was like, $1,500, that's crazy. And now we've got, these the fold what start like a $19.99 or $17.99 or whatever, and now you've gotten your trifold, which is going to be probably north of $2,500, close to $3,000.
Trifold phone, isn't it like?
It doesn't
look terrible, but it's still bigger. You could tell.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be. It's probably what I'd like to see is how close the trifold is to the Titan 2. That's as far as thickness.
That'd be a good comparison.
I'm just putting it out there. You got to
bring the Titan 2 up again, didn't you?
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
No. I'm just curious because I know that's a thick phone, and when I looked at I guess when I'm looking at,
never forgetting that.
You're right, Joe.
I gotta let it go. I can't let it go. Anyway. But when I looked at it, it was just weird seeing the second set of pants. Right, you're looking on a foldable. You're looking at it, you see it like this. You're like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then it's like this one middle one, and it's like a sandwich, and you're just like, God, that's just weird looking. I mean, I don't think it'll be any thicker than probably the camera bump on this. Obviously, the camera bump will be sticking out of that one. But I think it's not going to be terrible, but it will be. It'll be obviously thicker, but I don't think it's going to be noticeably thicker, right? It won't be like, whoa, this is like ridiculous, right?
When the Fold 1 came out from Samsung, it had that tiny screen on the front. I remember pre-ordering that, and I was amazed by that. But it came with like it came with all kinds of free stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if they did that with that. So if it's $2,800, $2,500, will they include a case and a charger in the box?
Guys, some people like it thick.
No,
it's all about girth. You're right. Some people like girth.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about phones, right? Right.
Well, yeah.
Right.
No, I don't know.
Nomad.
I don't know.
I'm talking about phones.
We talk about whatever, right? So yeah, how long will it last? You know what? I will tell you that. I would assume that they're using the same hinge and display technology that they've perfected or gotten. So I think. I mean, obviously, it's another hinge to fail, right? So another point of failure, right? And then. And it really depends on how people are going to use this because I guess my question is could you effectively use it with just the one fold? Like when you unfold it, do you get to this? Right. I guess assume you get to this posture, right?
No, because you're not seeing it. That's what.
No, the Samsung only has the bar, the slab, and then it only folds into a tablet. There is no middle ground.
So so you're basically okay. So I don't know, man. I just. It's hard enough, not hard enough, but it's weird enough doing this for people who aren't used to this kind of thing. And then when you're going boom, boom, and you're like, you got basically, another, it's going to be obviously pretty substantial. Like you're going to see it and people are going to be like, and I think it's one of those things where I think it'll be kind of a flex. You're going to go,
of course,
and people are going to go, what is it going on?
The Fold was the same way when it first came out. I see Samsung Folds everywhere now.
Really?
I don't see flips. Oh, I've probably seen at least, I know it's not like a whole lot, but 4 or 5. And then we were watching Netflix last night, me and my wife, and she wanted to watch these Christmas shows. And I swear, at least 2 out of the 3 shows we watched had Pixel phones in them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because Apple, but whatever.
Well, I thought for a long time, I thought it was interesting that it seemed like every TV show always had Windows phones in it and movies. Remember House of Cards? Remember that show? Everybody in the show was using a Windows phone. And the only reason I could recognize it wasn't so much from the back. I mean, kind of, but it was when they had to like swipe up the old Metro answer from the phone. It would kind of bounce at the bottom a little bit.
Yep.
That just makes, and I see that and it just kind of makes me laugh that it's like, oh yeah, nobody really knows anything about the Windows phone. And then I just miss Metro UI. And of course, it seems like those videos come up every 6 months or so when somebody's revisiting Windows Phone and Metro UI and how great it was. And I just remember on when I used to get a phone call on my old Windows 8.1 device, the little because you swiped up, the little bar was floating at the bottom.
Yep.
It would kind of would bounce a little bit. I don't know, just little goofy shit like that just kind of made me laugh. And kind of like, but I don't know. We'll see. I just don't know who the trifold's for. I'm sure it's I think it's like the
Vision Pro. I don't think it's going to sell in droves, right? At least the first generation. The Fold didn't sell well. I don't even know if it's selling well now. They're still making it, so they must be selling something. I just think that it's a proof of concept, kind of like the first one was. Had the small screen, and they may change it to have multiple positions that it's folding into, as opposed to just 1 and 2. You're right. Huawei did it, but they don't protect their screen as well.
Yeah,
right.
So
I don't know.
Yeah, especially when it folds
like I said in
like
Tech Disruptors last week, though, that the form factor as a phone and then going to a tablet does make more sense than the weird aspect ratio of a Fold, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Fold was it's more canvas, but you're right. There's what are you doing with it? Like it's an iPad like experience. Like it's square.
Unless you're multitasking, like having split apps, that works quite well on some of them, but how many people do that? I don't know.
And is this? I can't remember. I thought we looked somewhere. Is this trifold going to have decks? Like, it would be nice to have folded.
Is it going to have pen support? Because the Fold 7 didn't.
I bet. I don't know. I don't know.
I would think of any phone that folds, like a foldable from Samsung, would have some kind of stylus support or S Pen support. That would be it, because essentially it's a proper tablet at that point. I mean, that's really what you're opening it up to is an actual tablet. I do like it from that perspective. Although I will tell you that, and this is what I always argued about the Fold versus the Duo, was I don't really multitask as much on my Fold, and I do it occasionally, when I'm doing something comparing but what I liked about the Duo was when you open it up, you were always in a multitasking posture.
Yep.
Because you had one whole screen and it was just begging for you to fill it with something, right? And then of course, then it was kind of cool because, and you can do this. And everybody was like, yeah, you can do it. I had the argument to where, multi apps, right? Well, you could do that on a Fold. Yeah, I know, but it doesn't feel the same to me. Like, I don't know what it just feels like when I open the Duo,
that separation in the screen makes you want to multitask. That's how I got it when I used it. It's like you feel like there's a separation. It's not just one big canvas.
Well, think about it, because also, and you're right, because there's two screens, because when you open it up and you launch an app, it launches on one panel. Right. It doesn't launch split. And that's what
it's like having two monitors on your computer.
Right. And that's what I liked. Yeah. And that's what I liked about the fact of, and like I said, you could do it on the Fold but any app, when you open up the phone and you're looking at it and you have your screen and you open up an app, it automatically scales to the full screen. It's one app. It'd be different if it opened up on one side and it would say, okay, well, now what do you want? And then when another screen would come up and say, okay, would you like to launch another app? Are you looking to multitasking mode or whatever? Whereas, like I said, you cannot set the Duo to open up on both screens and to span. You can span if you need to span. Obviously, you'll have the space in the middle, right? So obviously for doing things like, obviously watching a video across, but you'll have that, break inside, which sucks. Although I would argue that I was able to get around that a lot of times. I will tell you that also too, is I know you can do, this whole tent posture thing where you can watch a video, you can kind of like, set it up like that. I did it. It seems like it's almost too thin. It almost seems too wobbly. Whereas when I used the Duo, because it was wider, putting it in that tent posture was always easier. It just seemed, and this has more real estate to do the thingies that you would do. You know what I mean? It's just,
I thought a gamepad on the bottom screen and a game on the top.
A gamepad, or it had a more of a better base, so that way when you set it down and you were opening up into that tent or to that like laptop mode, I guess is what they call it. You could actually, and I had done it before, where you can actually, you got a pretty good full size keyboard.
Yeah.
Again, it's weird because you don't have actual keys, right? That push. It's a little hard to type on. But I thought it worked out pretty good. It seems like when it came to split screening and multitasking, I don't do it near as much on my Fold. That's just multimedia content with a bigger screen, which letterboxes in any way, which then gets you the argument is you're pretty much doing this.
Yeah.
It's just, you get, I mean, and so again, at least with the trifold, because like you said, Jason, it's more, it'll help, in a better posture. I don't know. I don't think I don't see that as another multitasking tool is what I'm coming across.
Well, and I think the Duo is like, for me, the Duo, I didn't feel uncomfortable unfolding it because I knew it was two separate screens. The chance of that screen breaking any minute was in the back of my head every time I owned a folding phone. And it never really did, except for I think I had a flip device that started to get like the rainbow coloring in the crease, but it didn't give out. But I mean, and I only owned it for about a year. So, which is rare for me.
That's
I don't usually own phones that long, but
I was going to say, we don't own them long enough really to truly test durability. I got two issues with the name trifold though, right? First one's silly. It sounds like, if you heard of trifle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just sounds like
and you don't unfold it 3 times, I guess, is the other one. I don't.
That's the other one. You guessed it, Sam.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
You only unfold it. It's only 1 and 2, right?
Well, is it the official name? Is it the Samsung trifold? I don't even know.
I don't know. No,
I thought it was Samsung.
That's what they called the Huawei one as well, didn't they? It's just what the press of calling that.
Well, they call the Huawei the XT. It's not the XT or something, or what?
Yeah, but the press are calling that form factor of trifold. They've named it.
I see what you're saying.
I guess so.
Okay.
I still argue that the Pura X from Huawei is kind of the best folding. I love the way that it's almost like it's a hybrid fold flip. It's really weird because the way I just think that it's kind of an interesting way to do it, and that's what I've always liked about Huawei's design. They always seem to come up with really kind of neat, really kind of like, that design's kind of cool, right? It stands out. And that's what I kind of like. If you're gonna have a phone and you're gonna show it off, it's kind of nice that if it stands out. I just like the Pure X's, the way it unfolds. I just like
form factor. Yeah,
the form factor really works for me. I wish there was another phone that would maybe kind of like emulate that or copy that and say, hey, this would be like Samsung coming up with a Pura X phone. I don't know if that's it might be copyrighted, but I don't know how copyrights work in China. I don't know how that works. I mean, it's not an American company, so I guess you could copy it. Clearly, it goes the other way around. Hence, a lot of the
Google Fold. Remember the original Google Fold? It had a more wider stance. I love that because it was squatted when it was closed, so you could use one hand. But that thing's biggest issue for me, and I know it sounds dumb, but to me, it didn't fold all the way out. It was never completely flat, and I didn't think it'd bother me till I actually had the device in my hand. But
now, could you kind of give it a little?
You could, but you know how bad that felt doing that. Like I always felt like I'm gonna break this damn thing. And I spend that kind of money on a phone, you don't want to break it right away.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that.
I guess my question is, why do you think that when they got to the Fold 9, why did they change the form factor? Was it to make it more Samsung? Like, why didn't they do the same form factor as the original Fold and just make it open open flat like every other phone? Why do you think that they changed the aspect ratio? It kind of, I don't want to say drastically, but definitely it's noticeable on the Fold 9 and the Fold 10.
From the Fold 1 to the 9. Yeah, I just think it's because of Samsung. I mean, there's only the competition. No one's really doing what the Fold 1 did. They're all doing that generally the same aspect ratio, and they want to fit in. I don't know. It's hard to go out on your own because you're going to be risking a lot of money, and businesses at the end of the day want to make money. So I don't know.
I don't know. It seemed like a lot of the commentary was how people seemed to like the original Folds aspect. Like they liked that it was more what do they call it? What was the old it was like almost like a journaling kind of phone. There's an adjective
passport.
It's a passport style.
Oh, the passport. Okay.
Yeah, like a passport style, where it's a little bit wider, a little bit shorter. I do like, I have to admit, I do like the form factor of the Duo being a little shorter, a little wider, even on both panels. I do like that. I just wish on the Duo 2 is I never thought that this would bother me, the gap, but it kind of bugs me. I don't know, and it shouldn't really, but it's funny is obviously as against what MKBHD would have argued, which he did back in the day, that there's no upgrade between their OG Duo and the Duo 2. I'm like, every single component of the fucking phone is upgraded, dude. You're such an idiot. Like, that was the one time I really wish he would have said that in front of my face, because I would have looked him right in the face and said, if you actually believe that stupid shit, you're the stupidest person I've ever seen, and you should not review a phone. Every single thing on that thing was upgraded, with the exception of the gap between, like, it wouldn't fold completely flat. That was the only knock. Everything on this phone was upgraded. 5G, a better processor,
and would they do that for?
Screen, stereo speakers, all that.
Everyone complained that they wanted better cameras, and they wanted this and that. And honestly, the Duo 2 was a great device. The only knock to it was what you just said. It would not close flat. That's about it.
Right. But just for him to sit there and say that, oh, it's objective. Also NFC, 5G, dual speakers, cameras, the chipset, RAM, dude, come on. Let's calm down. Also, 90 hertz. Yeah. Okay. Come on. Yeah. Let's stop. But like I said, I just seem like I kind of like that shorter kind of, and part of the reason why I haven't really decided to go to like the 9 or the 10 on the Pixel is because of that. You know what I mean? It's like I don't really like the perfect square of this. It's great. It's not bad. I don't dislike it. I don't hate it. But I do wish it had more of the Passport style. I don't know.
Because when you're watching, like, I like to watch videos once in a while on my phone, and at that point, you unfold it, like you said, you might as well be using the slab in landscape, and it's the same size as it, opened up. I
guess the only thing that's nice is like on the Duo, and that's why I kind of liked, and everybody kind of always knocked the fact that it had those big bezels, but I like that because you could hold on to the device and you weren't touching the screen, so you weren't blocking, you weren't doing phantom touches. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. It's just, I don't know. Do you think are we here with this Fold? I mean, do you think that maybe on a Fold 8 or maybe a different version, they'll go to more of a Passport kind of square, or do we think that on the Folds that's the way of the dodo? Like, it's gone. We're not doing that anymore.
Depends what Apple's going to do. I hate to say it. They sometimes set standards. Even though it seems like there's a mass exodus over at Apple and everyone's leaving, they are doing something right, or they wouldn't be a whatever 4, 5, 8 million quadrillion dollar company. I think the Fold 7's been pretty well received. I mean,
yeah, I think so.
Maybe not selling well, but most tech people really do enjoy the device. Like, it's thin. It's the first time that Fold actually made a significant leap since probably the 2 or the 3. So, I mean, I've never owned the 7. Last one I owned was a 5.
Yeah, that's what I had before this, and I took a gap. But
this one's
look at that.
What's that?
Yeah, that's the
V5.
Oh, you have the 5. Okay.
Yeah, V5 by Honor is better in my opinion, but
some people said the Honor one, the Honor folding device was better than the Samsung.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the V5 in my opinion.
But here in North America, we don't have it.
Yeah, but that's not to poo-poo on Samsung, because what you're saying, the upgrades from the 6 to the 7 is huge in my opinion.
Did anybody use a pen on the 6 ever?
I didn't have the 6. I had the 5, and I did sometimes because I actually had the.
Sam's the wrong person to ask, because I think
I had the Samsung case that actually had the pen, and I would say I used it maybe once or twice a week. Like, I'd pull it out if I was doing something, or especially if I was like, it seemed like for me, if I had taken a picture and I was trying to draw on it to, like, highlight something or write a little note or something like that about an image or whatever, that's when I used it. Or sometimes if I was trying to draw, but I don't know about you, but I never really did the whole. I know they always said just pull it out of the sideload and you have the quick note. I've never been in a situation where I had to write a note that quick.
Right.
That I guess it never came up. Like, but I guess if somebody said, hey, or whatever, I guess I could use it. But no, I did use a pen. I would not call myself a prolific pen user, S Pen user. But I did. Here's the thing. My thing is this: it's better to have than not need than not have. And like, really, at this point, why not just have the stylus? And if you never use it, okay, well then don't use it. But it's nice that it's give people the option. But
it has to be a financial decision, because like I had a lot of the Ultras, and I've used it. Well, I used it more when it had Bluetooth built in for, like, basically camera control.
Yeah.
But I never really used it. Now, that's just me, and I'm not the everyday person. But I can't imagine Samsung was just like, you know what? We have all these people using it. We're going to pull it out. They have to look at the numbers and say, look, it's probably not as popular as we think it is, and it's going to save us $50 per unit or $20 per unit. and we
And
can
when you're
increase
selling
the
millions
price.
of units, that
Right.
obviously
That adds
matters,
Adds up.
Scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get, and that's why I really wish they would have still kept the Note series and you have your Pro, right? You have your S26 Pro, right? Don't call it an Ultra, or call it the Ultra, right? It's got all the bells and whistles, all the zooms, all the things, all the RAMs, right? And then you have a productivity facing S26 Note. I still think I know, and then maybe honestly, and if you're worried about SKUs, like now we'll have 4 SKUs instead of 3, then fine, ditch the Plus because nobody's buying that. Everybody seems to buy the vanilla 26 or the Ultra. Nobody really buys the Plus. Can't remember.
Didn't Apple get rid of the Plus this year? Or
I don't think they have it. It's just the Pro.
They did,
and the
so
devices are going too now. The Edge isn't coming back, and I highly doubt the Air is going to come back next year. Maybe they will. They brought the Vision 2 back, so
it's funny is a lot of people are kind of dumping on the iPhone Air, but I've had a lot of people that actually own them. They love it. They like.
What's interesting about Apple's Air is they didn't name it the 17 Air. They named it iPhone Air, so it can sit in next year's portfolio. I think they're going to do another one, but I think it's not going to be year on year.
Every other year. I still argue that, and I understand why they don't do it, why companies don't do it, but I still argue, I think for a lot of phones, that really should be the cadence. It should be in every other year, at least some of the SKUs. Maybe like on the Air, right? Maybe this year, keep the Air, then have an Air 2, right, in 2027, right? So see how many Airs you can sell, because I think probably the reason why they probably made a shit ton of them, and they have them sitting on shelves, and they can't move them. So it's like
a tough sell. It's a tough sell.
Right.
I mean, I had the Edge. I loved every minute of the Edge. It was thin, and it was an Android device. I'm not really sucked into that Apple ecosystem.
No,
but
you're in good company here because Joe and I are.
I mean, the battery life wasn't terrible, and it had fast charging. It had 2 cameras. It was great. I think the Air is just. It's not just the Air or the Edge. I don't think thin phones are what people want. I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think anyone asked
it's a tough
for
sell.
I think it's just let's try this and see if it works type of thing.
At least Apple tried. I mean,
yeah.
And well, I don't think it's what they're asking for, but I don't think that people absolutely think it makes no sense to have a thinner phone.
Correct.
I think it's like, I would prefer a bigger phone with a bigger battery.
Yeah.
But my thing would be is if you can get the Air and you can get obviously better optimization, a different battery technology, and like for a person, so for a person like me, I don't really use my phone, especially on like in a work day when I'm at work. I'm very rarely on my phone. I can't. I'm just too busy. I can't. And then I also have access to charge. I have charging at my desk. I got charging in my car, and I have an hour commute. So chances are, usually I plug it in. By the time I get home, I've at least got most of the battery kind of resumed or back to full. So I don't really have a lot of battery anxiety. So for a person like me, I would have a problem with a thinner phone with a lower capacity as long as it were optimized and you can maybe get some better technology. So if Samsung came out with the obviously an Edge, but with a silicon carbide battery and more charging than 40 watts, if they could get to like 67 or maybe 80, I know they don't.
What's the Edge have? I think it's 25, maybe
25. But if they can get to like 67, like on some of the Moto devices, I think if you had 67 watt charging and you had a silicon carbide battery, I think you could. I don't think anybody would really have a lot of anxiety. And if you are, you're probably a power user, and you wouldn't be buying that phone anyway. You would be going to an Ultra or something like that. You would just.
Yeah, you made a good point. That's probably why I didn't have too much problem with the Edge because I'm in an office a lot of times. It's charging. It's there, or if it isn't charging, I have the ability to charge it really quick. And I'm not power using it during the day because I'm working. And I'm not saying everyone's like that. You're a construction, you're not buying a thin phone. You're buying a rugged phone.
You're probably buying one of those cat phones, those Caterpillar phones. Those things are like,
or you're going to buy the smallest iPhone you can get and put the brick case around it. So it's like
UAG cases.
Right. Or like when I was in law enforcement, the Highway Patrol had the thick book, the workbooks. Those. Dude, I swear I know for a fact if you shot that thing with a 9mm, it's not going to go through it. And if you had to take it off the dock and you had to like hit somebody with it, or like put it up against something, like somebody's trying to punch you, just put it up in the air.
It causes damage.
Dude, you wouldn't break your hand. I think it was those they're called tough books.
Yeah, it was a
and dude, they were kind of nice.
Panasonic.
Yeah, and they were cool because then they actually they actually had a handle. It was like integrated into the chat, and like you picked. It was great because that was their MDT. They had a mobile data unit, so they had a little stand in their patrol car, and they would just dock it right into it, and then they would take it out. So if they had to like work on a report or whatever, they just pull it out of their car, walk into a station, drop it on. It was great, and those things had metal. It was like rugged looking, dude. And I asked the guys like, "Is that thing really as durable?" He goes, "Dude." If actually just had a bulletproof vest was nothing but tough books, I'd probably be perfectly fine. I could probably make rifle rounds. They all liked it. I mean, it had really nice. I mean, it wasn't a great keyboard, but it was a durable, rugged keyboard, right? So I think there are people who are working in industrial environments or construction environments or whatever. They have to have rugged phones. I kind of wish that Samsung would have kept the Active series phones. Yeah. I still think those were pretty good because then you can just get those. All good, right? You got water if you're a hiker or if you're a fisherman, fisher lady, fisher human, whatever, right? Or if you're in a dust and environment, you don't have to worry about buying a case, right? It had really good egress. It was a cover on the screen, so you could just I had a friend who had an Active, and she loved the thing. And finally, it just finally died on her, right? It was like 8 years old. It was just croaked on her. She goes, "Oh, they don't make the Actives." I said, "Oh, Jesus, they haven't made Active since the 6. I think it was the last." 6 or 7 was the last Active they made.
This segues nicely into like a phone I wanted to talk about quickly. You know the Poco with the Bose speaker.
Yeah,
the F8 Ultra.
Yeah. Like
that's
I love
cool.
that concept. Yeah, it's really cool. Like having the louder speaker on there.
Isn't it like the bottom half? Like it's like behind, like underneath the. Isn't that the one or is that the one that has like
right
in
next
the
to
top?
the cameras?
It's got like a little subwoofer,
right there.
Little subwoofer next to the camera.
Yeah, I think that's. I can't believe somebody didn't come up with that already. Well, I'll tell you, if HTC was still in the game, they may have come up with something.
They
like
may
that.
have, yeah.
Right.
They have boom sound with the speakers in the front.
Oh,
like the Razer phone did.
I will tell you, when I had my HTC One M8 and I had an M9. The speakers on that phone, again, remember, because at that time, front-facing speakers kind of weren't dual speakers really weren't a thing on Android phones back then. That was like 5-7 years ago. I remember having like first of all, to me, the HTC One M8 for me is probably the best hardware on any phone I've ever used. Yeah, granted, the boom sound took up with the screen. It wasn't like edge to edge screen, right?
Yeah.
But man, it had the DAC and the speakers. Especially, here's the thing. Like right now, you have to find a phone like that with the speaker that Joe's talking about that really differentiates itself. But back then, there was no phone on the market that had speakers in the front like that. Boom sound was like the only way you could get it was buying that HTC device. Yeah, so it wasn't like, well, I could get it here and get it here and get it here and kind of get it here.
That look, like the Razer phone, you could see the grills. You could tell it was something made for sound. Right. This Poco, I think it's the Redmi in other regions. It's a slab phone, but it has the Bose speaker in the back. Now, I will tell you this. I have one on the way. And you know how hard it is to get a Poco in the United States now? Even AliExpress says, sorry, we're not shipping to your country.
That's mad because Poco's meant to be for...
We can't ship your address.
What about GizTop? Does the GizTop sell?
I think Poco is a global version. They don't carry a lot of global versions.
That's what's weird about this, because Poco should be the one you should be able to get.
Well, and here's the thing: if you live in the UK, you can get the denim version for like
I like
$150.
Dude, the denim version is pretty slick. I kind of like that.
It's sold out now, but that price. And they say the cameras aren't half bad. 50 megapixel.
Yeah, I've seen some good reviews on it. It's not like that bad at all.
But keep your, I would say, temper your expectations on a subwoofer in a phone. It's still pretty. But Frosty Carter said it was amazing, and he loves his music. So
and remember, if it's a subwoofer, it's a bass tone. It doesn't have to face towards you, right? It just has to kind of make noise. That's why you can always remember if you had a subwoofer and you could always put it behind your couch or underneath your couch, whatever, because. Again, it's a bass tone. It doesn't have to be angled directly towards you for that sound because it's reverberation, right?
And that's what it is. You know what? Like, my missus bought me a little speaker to have in the shower because I used to play podcasts while I shower, and it's the tinny sort of sound that smartphones make that annoys her.
She listens to us in the shower. I get it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Rubbing one out while I have a shower.
Aaron's voice.
But anyway, moving on. Anyway, yeah, it's that tinny sort of sound that smartphones make that used to annoy us. She said it used to go through the house. Whereas when you add that little bit of bass, it doesn't. I don't know why.
Right. No,
So
I
maybe it
agree.
was
Like I
that.
said, I don't know what the output is on that, and that's why for folks that are going to get like Jason's going to get it and like actually test it out. But it's one of those things where somebody said to me, "Hey, that doesn't have great speakers," and I think Steve Litchell said he doesn't really listen to a lot of things. Well, I guess he would listen to a podcast or spoken word, right? So you don't really need a bass tone for that. Really, fidelity is as long as it's clear enough to hear. You don't go, "Oh man, that sounds great." If you're listening
Teddy
to,
said he don't. I think Steve does listen to videos and YouTube.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was Ted, but he basically has said. But remember, he's not listening to music. So, but I think if you're listening to like a music track or like maybe a symphony or something that's more where fidelity from speakers probably was more important. I'm curious how that thing would actually perform. And maybe it's gimmicky, right? Maybe and that might be gimmicky because it's not big enough. Maybe they'll test it and they go, "Hey, we tested out and the people have used it." And they said, "Man, if this had a little bit more output, this might actually be okay. Like this might actually work."
I guess it depends how much Bose actually had input on the product.
Well, is Bose going to put their name on something that sounds like?
That's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think so. I don't think it's just a stamp. I think they probably had some involvement in some of that. But it really comes down
probably
to
going to be.
But here's the other thing:
decent.
how hard is it to really make speakers sound a little bit better? I mean, people don't really focus on their speakers that much in a phone.
Well, right. Like Pro Max,
it's all about air volume.
Let's say it. Pro Max is the gold standard for speakers on phones.
Pro Max.
Ooh, yeah, Pro Max.
The Honor series. I think the Honor's always like
that's what I was going to say. And then in the Android side, I say Honor is there as well. So to your point, is it that hard to make decent speakers? No, I think Sony as well was another one that do very good speakers in a phone.
It's something you overlook. I mean, companies like, we need to make, we're going to spend money on cameras and charging and battery. Speakers like an afterthought because they're on the shelf. They just throw them in there.
That's what I love about Honor. Like, the screen with the PWM dimming.
Yeah.
No one else is giving you that.
But at least not that high of a.
Not that high, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very little, which is not that significant, especially for people that really do suffer from the flicker. It's mad. Why not all brands, at least for their flagship devices, giving us that?
Yeah, take the official IP69 rating out. OnePlus did their own water.
Not for me. I live in the UK. I need.
Well, but like OnePlus always was water resistant, but they didn't pay for that.
Yeah. Didn't pay for the.
You can go through testing and not pay the whatever it is per unit and put it in speakers, but people are they want those numbers, they want those certifications. What's the, I don't know. There's a display rating now. There's the Victus and Dragon Tail Glass and all those different. It's all about name. Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision, all that stuff. So
it's all marketing.
100%.
Yeah. So I was going to ask about Honor more specifically. So, Jason, have you had? Will an Honor device work in the United States, like on T-Mobile?
Yeah. The first, I shouldn't say the first, the biggest significant Honor I remember using was the Magic 5 Pro. Me and Darren love that phone, and he didn't believe me. I bought it first, and I said the cameras are fantastic. And I don't know who I had at the time though. I had to have AT&T, and then that might have been prior to them saying, "Oh, your phone's not going to work." I get it from T-Mobile. You put a SIM in like my Vivo, and it says it looks like your phone's not 100% compatible with our network. You may see issues, but they don't cut you off.
Right, okay.
But it was great. And then we had the 6 Pro, and the 6 Pro was good, but it had too much AI in the cameras. Like they added so much AI that when you zoom in, like I zoomed in on a jacket that was brown from like 30x, and it turned my jacket into sand. Like it looked like sand. And I'm like, okay, too much AI. The 7 Pro, I don't think we own the 7 Pro. And then the 8 Pro, obviously, it sounds like it's it's all about software iteration, updating things. No one's, Google does this thing. If you ever do the super zoom on a face, it's going to be blurry no matter what, because it has to use AI, and they're not going to use AI on a face. You go to words at 100x, it's going to use its best estimate using AI to put that text on the screen. So I want the 8 Pro, but you can't. This is Techtober season. There's probably been 5, 6, 8 phones coming out in every other week, and you can't buy them all unless you're a reviewer like MKBHD or someone who's
Darren.
getting review units on the regular
Especially
screen
Darren.
on time. Any of those guys.
Oh yeah, as if. I wish, mate.
Yeah.
I wish. To be honest though,
You guys here at Nomad Tech Project, you get all your stuff for free.
I don't know how they do it though. These guys that get all the.
I get nothing. I'm not a reviewer, so I get a whole thing of focus.
They have influence. MKBHD, love him or hate him, people listen to him. So
not so much them getting the phones. I don't know how they. I mean, he's got a team around him, but like to produce the content for all them devices and truly test them properly. I don't know how they do it. I guess they don't really truly test them properly.
No, like Unbox Therapy. You ever watched him? He's from Canada, I think.
Yeah.
He's made a killing off opening phones. And I've been doing reviews. And I remember, God, it's probably 4 or 5 years ago. He showed his warehouse, and there was thousands of boxes that he didn't even get to. Companies sent him stuff, and he didn't even get to those. And sometimes he goes, I'll throw a video together to throw away like all the odd end boxes that I didn't get to open during the regular, time frames.
End of year, like odd box.
Yeah, like MKBHD does that. Mr. Who's the Boss does that. Captain Two Phones does the thing, like the phones I couldn't get to. I don't know. Yeah, I can't buy every phone. I just can't. I'd be broke.
No. So. Yeah, no chance, man. It's as much as we'd like to.
And the only reason why the Poco's coming is because the Realme didn't work out. That's the only reason why. If the Realme would have kept working, I wouldn't even have jumped on the Poco. So, and I've used Poco, and just personally reminiscing, I want to say 4 years ago, it was the Poco. I have to look at my YouTube channel. I did an unboxing of a Poco X2 or something. I don't even know what it was. I did it in a park next to a lake with no sound. And you could hear birds chirping in the background. There's like no wind, perfect day. And I got like 15,000 views on it. And I didn't even do anything but literally unbox it. And so I've always owned a handful of Pocos. It's been a little while because here in the US, and Sam would ask this, T-Mobile and AT&T kind of, you either get only 4G or nothing at all. I reached out to some YouTubers though, and they said that here in the US, they've gotten full service on at least T-Mobile. So that's the only reason why I tried it. Well, I'm going to try it. I'm
intrigued to hear your opinion on it when you get it. Definitely.
Here's my problem though: when a part of a camera or a speaker, like a subwoofer, is so well like hyped, I always feel like I'm kind of let down. Then when I try it, like I think
you're going in right though. You said earlier like it's still a phone, like, right? So I think you're going in with the right.
Sounds amazing. I mean, I'm not gonna listen to like Tupac or like Notorious B.I.G. and some heavy hitting bass, but you want to hear like classical music.
Yeah, it's not going to replace your home hi-fi like system. And
I mean, who in here listens to music on their phone speakers a lot? Usually earbuds, really. Headphones. You're in your car. Yeah, I mean,
there's so many good Bluetooth speakers out now, even at like low price points. That you tend to, if you're doing music, you tend to connect. Don't you?
Yeah. I mean, most cars have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, so you're not really listening to it through the speakers anymore. So.
Well, yeah, and my problem is always the aggressiveness of how connections happen. It's like, I mean,
we talked about
sometimes. Sometimes I just don't want it to connect. I just want to like get in the car or whatever. And you turn on your radio. I'm trying to get to the like traffic, right? So I'm trying to get to an actual like AM station or FM station. It's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, the podcast I was listening to, it's just like starts up, and it's like I don't want, and it's not necessarily like I use an app called Castbox for my podcasts. It works out pretty good, and also I have Podcast Addict. So, but it's just aggressive as hell. You as soon as it connects, boom, it starts playing. It doesn't even ask you, do you want to play this
Android Auto?
Yeah, it just goes. Or even if I connect to my car, even if I don't know, maybe it was with my Mustang, but now that I got the Mini, it's sometimes I just connect Bluetooth. I don't do Android Auto. And man, it's like super aggressive. It's like bam, as soon as I connect, it's like, oh, it just picks up. I'm like, I don't want to listen to this right now. And you have to like go out of your way to stop.
Tesla's kind of different because Tesla doesn't use Android Auto. So when you go, I can use Google Play Music, or not Google Play Music. Did I just say Google Play Music? YouTube Music. Like it's separate. It's like an app on the device. So when I jump in, like if I was listening to a radio before I went in and got back in, it doesn't automatically start staying or start playing. You have to actually initiate it. And you're right. When you plug into, I get my wife's van and it connects to Android Auto and it starts playing whatever song. And sometimes the music I listen to is not appropriate for my kids. So I gotta jump on there and turn it off. So
yeah. So anyway, a lot of things he wants to do, and he wants something faster, casting or switching music. Yeah. And the permissions, and that for anybody who's really kind of more of a control of your phone person, or we're talking about, like from a security or, exposure posture, right? I would make the argument though that I think now if you have an Android or an iPhone, I think that your chances of being able to do the things you want to do with those devices and having a very minimal digital footprint are practically zero. Right, they're practically zero.
Especially Yola phone. Is it Yola?
But, yeah, or if you the problem is people sit there and they'll talk about having a device that has these security postures, like using like Graphene OS or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But then they'll have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Reels. Okay, well you're kind of doing, you're basically you're putting your stuff out there. So, but again, it depends on really what you needed to do. I think if you need to have permissions because you need things to function because of your workload or your workflow or whatever, you have to kind of take it for what it is, right? You have to kind of weigh that. And there's nice that now they give you, because back in the day, they didn't give you a lot of option. If you had an app, there was like, why does the calculator app on this phone require microphone and camera access? It's it's a camera. I mean, it's a calculator app. It shouldn't. So now you can kind of, what's nice is they've been very good about allowing you to go in there and turn off all sorts of permissions and making sure whatever app you're doing has as little sending data to the ether or the cloud or to a server as possible.
Yeah, but Sam, when you Google or Apple, when you download an app, all those pop-ups, permission. Does anybody actually look at them? They just say allow.
I actually look at them just to make sure that what I'm allowing, I just kind of look and go, okay, what does it need? Oh, it needs access to the camera. Okay, it's a podcast app. I don't give it, so I can go in there and I basically, when Castbox it's like, hey, it wants access to this and this and this. I basically said yes, no, yes, no, or whatever, right? So the things I needed. And then I could go into the app again and actually go, nope, I decided I really don't want this either. And I would, and some of the apps, and depending on what it is, especially if you're using like an app that requires you to have like GPS monitoring or whatever, you have to have it allow all the time, right? But does it, and then one's like physical activities. I guess it needs to know if you're walking, right? If you're using an app like a Maps, right? It needs to know if you're walking to a location, because how can it tell you if it's going to take 14 minutes to walk to another destination if it doesn't have physical activity, right? So again, it's one of those things where just be careful on the apps you're downloading and try to be diligent, but just realize that if you're using a smartphone in 2025, your chances of having a very minimal or zero digital footprint are probably zero. From a cybersecurity standpoint, and you just have to understand that means your phone can be intercepted, your traffic. Again, you don't have control. You don't have control of your ISP. You don't have control over your carrier, right? AT&T can do whatever it wants with that, because that's the point. But it doesn't mean you have no responsibility to be diligent and making sure that you look in your permissions and making sure that you're trying to keep. But then you turn off your location permission, then you tell everybody that you're on vacation in Aruba. Well, then I guess everybody knows you're not in the country, and if they want to go mess up your fucking house or steal your shit, they know you're not in the country, because you just basically told everybody, Mai Tais on the beach. Frankly, the Mai Tais are fantastic. I love the Mai Tais. So good.
Joe immediately starts laughing when you do the Trump voice. I love it. Can I don't know how much time. I don't know how far you guys.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're going to keep. We're good.
We got to talk. I mean, I have mixed emotions. So Apple's having a mass exodus. They have a bunch of executives leaving. And the way I look at it is like a college football team or a college basketball team in the U.S., coaches are leaving, going assistant coaches, and they, because better opportunities or whatever, and then they reload with better coaches, hopefully. So some people are saying, well, they're struggling. They're not struggling, but, something's wrong. The culture is wrong. Everyone's leaving. Or do you think it's just a shift change? Like the younger generation's coming in and they're trying to be more youthful.
I think it's exactly that. I think it's a shift change. They've taken Apple as far as they can. The guys that were there,
pretty damn good too.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. I'm not an Apple guy, but you have to appreciate how they run as a business. They're very, very popular and they've got massive market share. You know what I mean? So, but I think they do need to switch things up, and I think they know that. I think
so. The sock for the phone isn't the answer to the future.
I mean, at least give us two.
Right. Right.
Right.
I guess, so the sock's interesting just because they didn't make. It'd be different if they made if that was gonna be something they sold in stores, like the pen or the pencil or any cases or silicone sleeves. I mean, it seems to be a very limited thing. It's a designer thing. Again, does it have any functionality? No. Would I buy one for whatever price they're asking for? I think it's a little silly. But
you bought 3 of them.
I one in every color and then both lengths. Because I couldn't get everything in every color. I had to
Isn't that what's around your neck, Joe? Right now, isn't that?
Yeah, yeah.
I've showed you this already. It is
it's an honor sock. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Yeah,
you put your phone in there like that.
Right, and then it slides out and falls down and cracks, and you got to buy another. Yeah, we set it up that way.
That is
drop
exactly
resistance. Right. Drop resistance is good.
We're hoping you just drop the phone. It just cracks the phone, and it's so broken. More broken than any phone you could ever imagine.
No, Sam. Then you got to say you broke your honor phone. Come to Trump Mobile. We'll
it almost does it hold it or is it just
no? It doesn't.
No. Okay.
Oh,
just if you try that at home, you make sure you're on a carpet or a soft surface. So
Sam, I didn't show you these though. I was segueing off this just for a second. I did show Tuna. There's gloves.
Oh no, I know
they're a bit camp. I mean, I wouldn't wear them probably. But they work.
They match the scarf.
Exactly.
They work. They're compatible with smartphones.
It's not doing
it looked like it wasn't doing it.
Oh, I've worn it backwards.
It's you put on the wrong hand.
Yeah, it's usually your index finger. Like I have gloves that have a little spot on the index finger.
Oh no. Just give next time honor reps. If you're gonna do a favor, Joe's a little special. If you could give him mittens because he can't figure out.
It's not working.
Can't figure out the fact that it goes on the other side of his hand. It goes on the right hand, not the left.
Sam, you're a genius.
Now. Right.
Smartphone mittens.
Smittens. That's what we'll call them. Smittens.
It's actually not working now.
Yeah.
So just can we delete that out? Oh no, we're live.
No, we keep everything on the show. Yeah. We don't delete shit because honestly, if that was the case, this would be about an 8-second podcast. Because what the hell is this? Is this Laverne and Shirley? What are we doing here?
Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, that's an old ass reference. Hopefully, if you're old, if you're over 50, I know if you're over 50, you're gonna know exactly what that is.
Go watch a rerun. It's in the opening credits.
It's the beginning credits of the show. Again, it's a show from the 70s, late 70s, early 80s.
But it's close enough.
Yeah, it's a glove, and never mind. You figure it out. Go look at Laverne
Project. Next holiday season, you guys are going to release the Smitten.
Yeah, Smitten. It's gonna be a sleeve for your phone. It's going to be a mitten that you put your phone in. And then when you open it up, it falls out and then hits the floor. And you got
it's not working at all, man.
See, what is going on right now? I think if you do it like that, like a complete psychopath, I don't think it's going to work.
I've seen YouTube before. They say, hey, editors, take that part out. It usually works. That's all you can say, right?
We're not doing that. We don't do that here. First of all, we're live streaming. And then at the end of the day, I've always made it a point that no matter what we do on the show, even if it's something stupid, or dogs, or dogs barking or some kind of other, now the problem is not the problem, but the funny thing about working with Steve is he was very judicious about making sure edits were done and it was all polished. And I thought, we don't do any of that stuff. Then it probably explains why he's a very successful podcaster. And me and Joe are just kind of like, at least me. Joe is actually on another show, and you should check that out. It's the Phone Show Chat. He's with Ted Salmon. Great time. Every fortnight, which if you're in the United States, who knows what the fuck that means, but
it's a video game.
It's right, exactly. It's like Roblox. What is Roblox every 3 weeks? Is that what that is? Yeah. Fortnite's 2, Roblox is 3, Minecraft is every month. I don't know.
Do people edit tech disruptors? We don't edit our podcast. I mean, we do shorts and stuff, but we don't.
Steve used to and here's the thing. I was fortunate to be on not only one, but I was on the show twice, which somebody's got to explain that to me how I was able to come on that show twice because it's mind-boggling. Anyway. So what Steve would do is he would record it. And so what would happen was if something would happen, he'd make an audible sound so he could go back to that, edit that, and then
smart idea.
It's a very Yeah, it's a very because you can see the spike in the audio graph, and it was really slick. Yeah, it was smart. I was like, okay, and and he was
in his defense, there was little that they edited out. It was just the odd occasion, weren't it? It wasn't too
right.
But
like,
I think there was on the show I did. I think there was two. I think he made a mistake on one. He went to ask me a question, and he kind of misspoke, and he kind of stumbled on his words a little bit, and then he went back and removed it. And then something I said, he just didn't like the way it sounded. He goes, "Hey, do you don't mind if can we try that again?" I said, "Yeah, that's not a problem. Like, I don't care." It actually almost felt like it was on a real set, right? It was kind of like, "Hey, do we mind if we work that back 10 seconds? I'm gonna ask you again.
Yeah.
Take it back." It was kind of, it was really, cool, though. Yeah. No, it was a really slick and a really smart, low tech way of doing it, and it was really kind of cool.
I think I'll do that on my YouTube videos, like that, just to remind me when I'm looking at the editing, like, hey, that's where I made a mistake. Because I don't script my videos, so like I make mistakes. But if I do this and clap twice, I'm like, hey, I can cut that part out and reset yourself to redo it.
You can just do a visual, just go,
yeah.
Frankly, you suck. That would be it, right? And you're not going, okay. No, but I guess, and I'm gonna ask you to this because you guys have both made like reviews and actually content with phones and stuff. Do you think that is it possible for somebody to be as successful as like some of those larger creators are? And I'm talking like 500,000 plus, like in that strata, without having a scripted approach to your videos. Like, can you just riff and that, like, because I look at somebody like Flossie Carter, I'm like, it seems to be, I mean, what he does is, I don't think he has catchphrases, right? So there's things that you can kind of like, as you're watching around, basically, right, like white shoes is like,
they're all very natural to him. They're just things that come from him,
right? And he's very, he's got a lot of catchphrases, right? It's like usual books and shit, pluck them and file them. You can almost what's good about his videos is what I enjoy of is, I will watch his videos even about a device that I will never probably have, just because I can. It's almost like church, where you kind of know what he's going to say and you kind of follow along because that phrase is coming, and you can kind of, and everybody, and I know that anybody who watches Flossie, everybody does it.
Feels so good in the hand, ladies.
Yeah, ladies, the procedures, right? Everybody does it, right? And I don't want to keep saying his catchphrases, but he does it in such a really great way. I think he is an anomaly. When it comes to that, because he's just so organically engaging, just like I always thought it's like a Tom Hardy movie. Tom Hardy could read a menu, like he just would be reading menu items, appetizers, and sides, and I'd just be like, "Yeah, this is fantastic." I'll watch this.
Floppy's humble as well. Like, I met him. He was kind of keeping to himself, being really quiet, and when I went to Hawaii. Yeah, he's a cool guy, really cool guy. I think he just does it because he enjoys doing it, and that comes across as well. I think.
Right. Yeah. And so I guess the question I have is do you think that you have to have a scripted, not scripted like every word per se, but do you have to have some kind of like, when I'm doing my video, I'm creating my content, I need to go here and here and here. Do you have how do you think it's possible just to complete, like, look, us? Could you do that when it comes to review videos where you're reviewing phones, just riffing for 15 minutes? Or do you have to have some kind of structure in order to be successful? Like, what do you think?
Well, Tech Odyssey, I don't think he's that structured, is he?
No, I don't think Adam is, but I think he doesn't seem to be structured, but he definitely has a approach to the videos. Like he knows where his mind. He knows where he's going to go. I'm going to start here. I'm going to go here. Right. I might go here, but I'm definitely going to go here. Like he has a very methodical way he kind of breaks it down. And the fact that it's also, I think, part of the charm of Adam was, first of all, he's charismatic, I think, but also too is because he is so low. There's no production. He's like, hey dudes, here's the thing. Like, I don't have a bunch of fly-ins and B-roll and bullshit. Like, right. He just comes in. He's like it's like a dude that would sit there, and if you were sitting at a coffee shop and you were sitting across, he was watching, looking at your phone, hey, did you know your phone can do this? And hey, the camera on that phone's probably pretty good. And audio's like, he would almost be like, he would tell you about your phone as you were sitting there with him at a pub or a coffee shop or whatever.
Well, that's like Flossie Carter. Like,
it's not scripted.
Like Flossie Carter gets he gets all hyped up. He's like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I love this phone so much. Let me calm down. Like, that shows me he's passion. Like, I think for someone who's got 500,000 plus, I don't know if it's necessarily a couple things. Is this your full-time job? It's not for me. So I have to dedicate a
Certainly
certain
not for me.
time. So you got to be meant like there's times when I got a new product coming in, I got to make a video, and I'm like, man, I am exhausted. So it kind of can come across that way that I'm tired. But I think I've done a script a few times. I don't like it. I like to be able to riff. And usually that whole day before I make that video, like I'm in my head churning what I'm going to say. So I get in there, I just say it. So I think part of it is it your full-time gig or not? If this was my full-time gig, I would have a heck of a lot more time dedicated to whether it's scripted or not. But I think the biggest, like MKBHD, Mr. Who's the Boss, these Unbox Therapy, they've got a whole team. So MKBHD is the face of MKBHD, obviously, and he's pulling in viewers, but he's got a team that's helping him write, helping him edit.
He has people in his team that are capable of having channels of their own. They're that good.
I think that's what drains people from YouTube by yourself. You only got to make the script if you're doing that, but you got to make the video. You got to edit it. You got to produce it. You got to send it out there. You got to, if you screw up, you got to take, you got to take the comments. I mean, I know that for a fact with Tech Disruptors shorts. Was it a couple weeks ago? Darren said something about Samsung's keeping the same bullshit 12 point whatever 3x, and people on TikTok were pissed. Like, he's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about, and he was 100% right. But people who defend the Samsung Knights, they like, you know, and I don't know, Sam. It's a tough question. It really depends on who you are. Like, people like Flossie and Adam can get away with it because they have that charisma that you can tell there's passion there.
I think with things like this as well, there's always a little bit of luck involved. Like let's just put like this big sportsman, like they have youth teams, right? Don't they? And all of them have the big ambition of becoming the next best quarterback or the next best striker. And they've all got the potential, but for some reason they get an injury or something happens in their road to making it, and it stops them making it. I think a bit of luck involved to become a top YouTuber as well.
Well, it's dedication too. Adam was making videos like 5 times a week. That dude was not sleeping. There's no way that day was sleeping, and that's good. Like, I don't know if you guys know who this guy is, Scott Peachy.
Yes,
he had a live stream podcast with a guy who actually passed away. He was a military guy, and that kind of shut the whole thing down. But he challenged himself. I went to high school with this guy, and he was maybe 25,000. He said, I'm going to make a video every day for 30 days. And after 30 days, he had 15,000 subscribers. And they were like, how to build a curtain in the back for your videos, like out of pipe. And I think it's consistency too. Like, my biggest downfall is I don't have consistency. Like,
that's the word. The word's consistency.
If you're doing, like, I watch a guy called Legit Streetcars on YouTube. He has hour-long videos released every Saturday morning. Once in a while, he'll sprinkle in one in the middle of the week. He just works on cars. But I love his charisma. And I know every Saturday morning I can watch him while I'm running or whatever. I think if you can have, like, I was trying to do one like every Tuesday and Thursday. I just can't do it. I don't have the time with 3 kids, family.
Family, man. Come on.
Yeah. So I'm doing it more out of love. Like, I love talking tech. Like, being on here, I know you guys are paying me $1 million, but I mean, besides that, Sam, I'll wait for the check.
Well, we're paying you in Canadian dollars, which is like apparently like almost like Monopoly money. It's like, I love when Darren says, how much is that in, like, that's the $2,000 phone, right, in Canada? Oh, it's like $18,000 in Canadian money. I'm like, what the fuck is going, like, why do things so
He's not lying.
There's
a website in Canada that, like, it's awesome. I don't know if you see Sam's pause.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
You kind of pause for like that. But like, there's a website we go to, Me for Canada, MI for Canada. They sell like imported phones. You can buy them in the US. It'll be like, we bought the Vivo. I think I bought the Vivo X200 Pro, and it had a Black Friday sale, and it was like $1,500 Canadian, and then they had so much percentage off. And when I went through PayPal, it was like $823 US. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And Darren was pissed because he's paying comparable.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably getting paid more than I am. Like, where he works, it's all about cost of living and stuff.
Yeah, me. This is me for MI for Canada.
For Canada. Yeah, the number 4. Yeah. And like
But
PDA
it must be an American website because it's not a CA.
Yeah, but it is. But you can change the USD. Like it has an option where you can change the USD. And they don't always have the best and newest phones. And ever since that deal I got on the X200 Pro, I can't get the same deal on the 300. But a lot of companies do that.
So it's Canadian owned, Express Shipping. It's a 1-year Canadian warranty. I don't know what that means. And Canadian Tech is about, oh, hey, bud. Hey, bud, what you got on your phone there? Did you charge it up? Did you restart the phone there, bud? Oh, fucking giver, bud. I'm like, what does that mean, Canadian technical?
I was just a little upset because when I got my Vivo from them, it didn't even come with maple syrup.
Right. I know this is ridiculous. Hey, look, I want somebody from Newfoundland or whatever. He's gonna go in there. Hey, bud. Oh, yeah, hey there, bud. What's wrong with your phone there, eh? And he's just like, hey,
phones. You want to import phones to the U.S.? Darren opened me. I'm going to put it out here. Maybe I shouldn't because Darren might get mad, but there's a company called Trinity Electronics. Okay. I think they're based in Hong Kong, like directly in Hong Kong.
It sounds like a total front for MI6 or CIA.
Go to the website. It looks like not legit. This dude, I don't know who owns it, but they're on WhatsApp. He responds back in like minutes if you ask any questions.
What's it called? Trinity what?
Trinity Electronics. You can just type in Google Trinity Electronics cell phone, and it's a kind of looks like a shady website. But the dude, like, I've ordered a phone from them in the U.S. 2 days later, it's at my door.
2 days later.
And they sell global phones. Now it's in HKD, like Hong Kong, so it'll be like the Honor 8, the Malaysian Honor 8 Pro is like $9,000 HKD, which is like $1,100 USD. So the prices aren't super great. But they give like a 3% discount.
Trinity it's electronic,
yeah. So
electronic company. Ooh, a little Mandarin sprinkled in there. Oh, this looks great.
But it's legit. It's legit. And he offered during Black Friday 5% off, which doesn't seem like much because what's funny is that price you see, 7,000 HKD.
Well, you can change it. You can change it to US dollars.
Yeah, you could take the 3% off, and then he adds 500 HKD for shipping.
So you can get the Poco F8 Ultra for $899.18. And then now they have the Huawei Mate, the Mate 80.
But $899 is steep because it's like $750 in the UK. But it's sold out right now. So if you don't want to wait, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
But then he has all kinds of stuff. He has the Oppo. He had the Honor Global before it was even. I don't know how he got it. But he was selling it before it was even available. I don't know how they get this stuff, but
that's crazy. They also have that's pretty cool. I don't know anything about these like websites, so because I'm not a gray market person, but it's just interesting to see all these kind of like. And I go me for Canada, right? Looks like so I forget it. It's not even worth my time. But but it's just funny when you go to meet like MI for Canada. Yeah. And you're like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then you go to this other one, this Trinity Electronics. You're like, dude, this thing looks like a front for like.
Doesn't it look terrible?
Hong Kong, like
dude. Here's why I want to preface saying this. Like I've talked to the guy online. Like I ordered a phone years ago, and I'm like, I don't want it anymore. And I emailed him, and he didn't respond back. I went to WhatsApp and said, "Here's my number. Can you cancel it?" Within minutes, he canceled it. Like, and they're like, right now over there, it's probably they're just getting up. It's a different time zone. I've been pretty lucky, and I think Darren's used them a few times before too. He's a reviewer. He's got a website, so he gets more review units than I do. But I just, it's. I mean, if you're being on AT&T is a difficult pill to swallow. If you want to use, like, I don't have an American phone right now. Only phone I have is the Vivo, and it's the Chinese version. But it's been besides not being able to use Wear OS, everything else has been fine.
Well, half the time I use like how you have the Xiaomi, the Mi Band, so which is funny because it works on every phone except for my Pixel 9 Pro XL. Like the 9 Pro, the 9 Pro XL. Oh, I was going to ask you about that. I saw
work
that
on any phone too.
Is that brand new? I'd never seen that before. Did they sell that outside the UK? Probably.
I got a week battery life, like 7 days,
16 days,
dude.
I got a Maze Fit. That's what I use right now with the Vivo.
I've heard it's very basic. Like, it's going to be notifications. You can't respond to anything.
But to be honest, I just want to know that
anything on my watch.
If I get a little, I get a message or whatever. What's it called again? It's the Moto.
It's the Moto Watch Fit.
Sam.
Yeah.
I'm gonna suggest if you want. I'm not saying the Moto Fit's bad. I never had it. The Amaze Fit has been amazing. No pun
I've
intended.
heard good things. Really
so
good
the
things.
Vivo does not use Wear OS, even though in their Chinese app store you can download Wear OS. It does not. So with Google Credit, if I traded my Pixel Watch 3, I paid $1 for the Pixel Watch 4, and I've been unable to use it. I'm so pissed because I can't use it with the Vivo. I had it linked with the Real Me, but of course that thing died on me, so I can't use it.
Yeah, it looks like you can.
I got like 10 days battery life on this thing, and it does. It's got like a coach.
Yeah, it looks like
tracking.
Yeah, it looks like I can get the Moto Watch Fit GPS only. It's only like $129, but you said
that's the thing. It's so cheap.
Amaze Fit sells so many. There's like the BIP, there's like the Balance, there's the T-Rex. They have a ton of different ones, and they all have at least a week or more, like 7 days.
What's on with 2 screens? The what's it called? It's got 2 screens. The Amaze Fit. Is that Amaze Fit that does that one?
2 screens? I don't.
Yeah, so it's like a
I have the Balance 2 is what I have, but it's like $150. But it does everything. Like it has. I mean, it even does like you can.
They have a BIP 6. And
so the one I have, like, so the biggest thing with some of these is like when you got a text message from your wife and she sends you a picture, it doesn't show up on these cheaper watches. This one actually shows you pictures and you can respond back. It has Alexa built in. They use Alexa, not Google.
Right.
But you're not going to have like YouTube music offline, stuff like that.
I don't
like for me running
honestly,
outside. I like to have
the only thing I use for my phone on my watch is this is why it's notifications and like alarm because I wear it in the middle. And the problem is I've noticed that with like I have the Pixel Watch and the I think I have the 6 Classic.
Yeah,
I gotta take it off at night and charge it. Well, then it's on my bed. And sometimes it goes and I forget to put it back on. Whereas when I have the Mi Band, it lasts for a week, and so it's always on my wrist. I use it as my alarm.
Take it off. Yeah,
it can vibrate on my wrist. It doesn't wake up my wife. So that's what I like.
Mobvoi Tick Watch that do the 2 screen thing.
I just don't like on the Amaze Fits. I don't like I don't like square.
I have the Balance, which is a round. They have the Balance and the Balance 2. It's a round, and they have
there's an Amaze Fit Active 2 Sport.
They have so many different versions, and the biggest thing, and for me, like I go to a coffee shop a lot before I go to work, and I tap to pay. It doesn't do tap to pay unless you're in the UK or other regions, but if you just use it for notifications, the BIP like 6 or 7 or 8, I don't know what version they're on, is very great. I mean, Amazfit's got their Zep OS is amazing.
Okay.
I've been pretty happy with Amazfit. I'm not saying the Moto Fit's not good. I don't know anything about it. I've never used it.
I've not used it yet either. So
the Nothing has their cheap phones, their watches, and they never stay connected. The Nothing Watch Pro is great, but they never stay connected. My daughter just gave it back to me. Said I can't keep it connected to my Nothing phone too. Like she has a Nothing phone too, and it won't stay connected to a Nothing.
I think if any phone is going to stay connected, it should be that one,
right? So my wife, I got her a Balance. I think the Balance 2, Amazfit Balance 2's out now. She had the Balance 1, and she has a reaction to the bands, like the rubber bands. She has like so I'm gonna give it to my daughter. It's got 14 days battery life. It has great, and it lasts forever. She doesn't. So does the Nothing, but at least Amazfit will stay connected. And that's one of the few watches I could get to work with my Vivo Chinese version. Now I know Vivo is working with Apple too, so you can have an Apple device connected to it. They have an Apple app you can download from the Chinese store, and it's supposed to work, but I don't have an Apple device, so I don't know.
Yeah, you heard of Mobvoi?
Okay.
What?
You heard of Mobvoi Tick watches?
I've had Wear OS is like Fossil got out of the game. I don't know if Mobvoi is going to stay around much longer. Do you think they will?
Yeah, I was just thinking they're probably not going to, but I like their concept where they had like an LCD over the top of the OLED.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. So you had like 30 days battery life.
Yeah, so you had
like an eco mode. Yes. Yep.
It's a very clever idea.
But they will have those things were thick devices. They were pretty heavy.
As a result, that's the problem. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool, yeah, I'm definitely not a smartwatch person because I don't use any of the smartwatch features. Like I don't have all the apps and I mean fitness is okay, I guess it would help, but at the end of the day, I just really need notifications, long battery life, and I just don't want a perfectly square device. I mean, if it's kind of like cool looking, I guess I'd be okay. I just want I think the square look on a wrist, I just think it's a goofy look. I like either like a actual fitness tracker like the Mi Band or a circular watch or something like that, or even if it's
Apple makes the best rectangle watches ever. So
yeah, I know. Well, Apple watches are nice. I get you.
I want the Huawei GT6 Pro. That's the one I want.
See, I want Huawei, but they don't. I mean, now that they went out with Android, it's hard to take anything Huawei makes. Unfortunately,
all the best watches for battery life don't have Wear OS.
Oh, or Apple, yeah,
or
because they take so many resources. Yeah, Amazfit's amazing because they don't have apps. They have built-in apps. But they don't have they have Amazon Alexa if you really want to use it. I don't use Amazon Alexa personally, but yeah, Sam. I mean, I get it. That's why those watches will last weeks, like the Moto Fit and all these stuff. But yeah, what do they call it? It's like RO. I forgot the kind of OS they call it. Most watches besides Wear OS and Apple have it's like OS on a chip or something. I forget what they call it. It's just it's very easily they can edit it to their preferences.
Yeah,
my boy prevents solid battery waste on it, but they kind of chef and Google wants to send some parts. Yeah. So I mean, my voice anyway. So I just like I said, I just need something that gives me a basic notification I can actually interact with. I don't have to respond to it, but just so that way I don't. Every time I get a notification, I have to take my phone out, open up the phone, look at it. Or if it's a picture, just say image. Okay, cool. I'll open it up when I have a chance to.
Or take a look at Amazfit. See what you see. You guys reviews on Amazon. Amazfit's got their own website. I mean, they're pretty. When I first got them, I didn't like them, but recently, they've come a long way.
All right. Well, cool. So yeah, absolutely. So, anyways, we're about at almost an hour and 30 minutes. So that's what happens when you get Jason on the chat. We just have a good time. We're just riffing. We're talking.
Sorry.
And no, it's okay. No, we don't want to. That's what I like about the show is it sometimes when you have just me and Joe, it's like we get to like an hour and 5 minutes. Like, okay, it's probably time for us to kind of. But when you have somebody on that we can kind of talk with, and it has the same level of probably in some cases more passion about what you do. We just like, and we know that you're going to be on a little bit of hiatus, so you might want to, this gives you a little bit of scratches the itch, let you know that you're here.
For sure.
Yeah. So that way, at the end of the day, we don't mind going a couple extra minutes when we have a good guest on. So hey, don't worry about it, not at all.
Of course, man.
So, all right, man. So we got our jumpers on. Joe's got his honor scarf, but don't put your phone in it. That will not hold the phone. No, we've already tested it.
It's
don't
do
it. It's not a pocket. If you want the iPhone Pocket, you need to go buy it. If I would honestly, I wonder if they're still sold out. Has anybody actually tried to go pick one up? I wonder if it's sold out. They only made 10,000 of them. I don't know. They may be out of them, or they may not have the color.
Fidget ones too. They had the.
Oh, geez.
I don't know. It's like a square. It's like a pyramid that attached to the MagSafe and a hole in it. Like it was like a pop socket. Yeah, I'm like.
Oh, great! Yeah,
yeah,
that's good. That's just what we need. More engagement.
$80 for a pop socket.
All right. Yes. So again, check out Tuna Tech on YouTube.
There. That's great timing. Check out Tuna on YouTube.
Yeah, even the dogs are saying that you should probably do that.
Right.
So
dogs love my channel. Yeah.
And then also we got Joe Screen On Time, YT.
Yeah.
Check him out as well. He's gonna get some. We got some stuff coming up probably next week or so.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be a good
up.
time.
Yep.
Absolutely. And for me, I'm not reviewing any phones because I don't do that shit. So I might unbox this stuff and just kind of talk about stuff and just basically piggyback off these guys because they're actual YouTubers. I'm just some poser. That's okay. So at the end of the day, thank you for tuning in to Nomad Tech Project. Again, thanks for watching the show, downloading it afterwards. Again, there's an audio podcast. I'm not putting notes on the podcast. I'm just going to say that Jason's on the show. I might put a link to his YouTube channel. Yeah, his OnlyFans. If you're into feet pics,
yeah.
He delivers. Definitely. Just saying. If you give him a couple extra hours, he might paint his toenails for you.
He does something very unique.
He does custom. He does custom content. Just to put it that way.
Tricks and tips with his feet.
Right
on phone.
Wow, you guys you must watch a lot.
No, I've got a guy. He knows some stuff.
You got a guy.
So for myself, for Jason, again, check out extremeskins.co.uk. Skin your shit. Make sure you get some skins. Get this color. You can get this color. They got a bunch of Yakuza. They got a bunch of stuff. They got buy one, get ones. They got a bunch of coupon codes. Go check them out. And again, if you live in the United States, you could still get them. Might take a couple extra days just because they got to ship it out of the UK. But at the end of the day, It's a great thing. I am a huge fan. Joe and I use them all the time, and we love their products. Again, extremeskins.co.uk. Check them out. Again, for anybody else, again, thanks for tuning in. Jermaine and Vonnegut and Andrew and Jimmy Fire Dragon and Engargs. And I saw who else is up there? Oh, yeah, Michael. So a lot of those people, thanks for tuning in. Thanks to always commenting and being engaged. We love that stuff. And we'll be back next Sunday on the Nomad Tech Project. Probably not have a guest. It might just be Joe and I. Unless Jason wants to come on and lose another hour of his life that he's never going to get back. He could do that too. And we would love to have him on because it's December. So, you know,
we got to bring Darren in here. That's what we need to do.
We got to bring Darren in as well because he's always available. And again, the door is always open. Jason and Darren, please, anytime you have come on in. We love having you guys on because we really are fans and we do love we do love your content. So
appreciate that.
Check them out. 2NA Tech on YouTube. Screen on Time YT on YouTube. I don't have a YouTube presence. Fuck yourselves. It's fine because I don't do that. Right. So at the end of the day, and then we got Jimmy on. We're going to get him on as well, maybe before the end of the year. So again, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your tech. Share it with your friends. Don't be a dick. And we will be back next Sunday on the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe. Take care, everybody. Love you guys. See ya.